Thank you for the chance. My name is Marlene Anthony Ubur from Catholic University. What I remember about Moodle, about the features of Moodle, we use it to teach, also for learning, as well as for managing. This is all I know about Moodles. Thank you.
You're welcome, and
I hope it's here.
I hope that you will get some chance to be able to go through the practicals and be able to learn more. So at this point, I want us to stop on the. I want us to stop there so that we focus on the presentation.
Let me add my position also.
Okay, okay. It will be the last one.
Yes. Call me Chol Daniel.
Yes, Chol.
Rumbeg University of Science and Technology. When we talk models, we define model actually, which is modular objects, orientation, dynamics, learning, and evaluation. So also learn on modeling, we learn about how to setting of model in which you can set the new course that we have learned. We also learn about flexibility, flexible learnings that we learn under models. Also, we also learn under ADDIE. That is ADDIE, which is analysis, design, development, and implementation evaluations that you can apply when you are doing evaluation. Right? These are the things that we have learned. In relation to data collection, we also learn about how institution can apply data or protect data when they're applying, and how the student also use data in an institution. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your contribution, all of you. For those who contributed and those who did not, we can see that there's a progress going on in terms of learning. So in today's session, I want us now to focus on developing multimedia. So I hope everyone is, there was an interruption of internet yesterday. We do up today, it will be much better that you can be able to follow along. In our session today, we will learn through the meaning of multimedia, the types of multimedia, and the principles that we should observe when developing one. We will also be looking at practical sessions where we will be developing actually this multimedia. So to get us started, we just want to understand the meaning of multimedia. So what is multimedia? Multimedia is a combination of different content, and this can be audio, it can be images, it can be animations or videos. We use this in our classroom every day, but it becomes even more essential when we talk about developing an online course. You will not be there personally, and so you might want to develop multimedia that can be used to deliver your content. Now, there are many ways in which teachers can be able to use multimedia, and they use it to achieve certain outcomes in their class. First, they use it to present a lecture. It's very important in lecture presentation, and they also use it for assessment, like the one you're seeing alongside here. Once the teacher has gone through the assignment of a student like this one, which has been marked, they can annotate, and after annotating, they can go through it now in a video where they explain to student in the first paragraph, you were not able to, you identify some key issues, like here in this particular case, more communities say, what is this that they say? Could you have put it in context and cite? So you can, for the remote students who will not be in your location, you may want to, maybe you can mute from, yes, help me mute. Yeah, someone has to mute. Okay, that's it, good. Yes, then Dennis, I would like you to mute so that there's no echo.
Peter,
Yes,
excuse us. We're having breakage. You go back.
yes, but just mute. There's an echo now coming. Good. Barbara, you can also mute. Okay, that's it. Good. Now, I was talking about the ways in which you can use multimedia in your classroom. And one of the ways that I mentioned, you can see this projection on the right side. It is student work, which the teacher has already given feedback. So when they do this, we call this annotation. So once the teacher has done this, you can now record a video. We will be looking later at a video called a screencast. You can record a screencast, which is giving feedback to the learner, and is a better way in which you can also collaborate with your students if you're doing maybe supervision and you want students to work together, or you as the supervisor, you want to give feedback to the student. You can also use multimedia one-on-one, looking at the student work. And in other cases, we can also use multimedia for interactivity, and it becomes very essential, in fact, when you're developing the online courses, particularly those which follow self-paced. You, the teacher, will not be there, but then you will have recorded your lecture so that students can be able to go through them. And once you do this, you can always reuse in the subsequent section. The reason why multimedia are normally very effective in teaching and learning online is because of the research that has been conducted, in that when you only lecture students, they can retain up to 5% of the knowledge that is passed over. But as the student read the content, they can retain up to 10%. But if you're using a video, multimedia kind of, then they can even retain up to 20%. And we also saw that the more engagement now, having students to do something is when they can even be able to retain more. So in terms of content delivery, multimedia videos becomes very important in delivering or in acquisition of knowledge. So there are some principles that we should consider when we develop this multimedia. And I will go through this. The first principles that you need to consider is reducing the amount of information so that your presentation become very clear. And the first one is saying that we should only add relevant images and text where necessary. You should not, whenever you're using a PowerPoint, for instance, you should not overcrowd the PowerPoint with a lot of images, with a lot of text. So you choose only a single information to project at a given time. And then they're saying you should always use text and keywords. You highlight the keywords. For instance, you can see here in this presentation, the keywords have been they have been highlighted so that it becomes easy for the learners to be able to go through it. That is an example. Another one is that you can also choose to use spoken words. And if you use spoken words and images, do not also include text. It becomes very difficult when you're trying to listen to somebody. The same times you can see the same images of the same words that they are reading out, and it creates cognitive workload. So we are discouraged from providing spoken words, images, and text of what we are speaking at the same time. So you choose only two. And the two which are recommended is talking and image. Those are really recommended when you're doing multimedia, so that you give the learners to focus more. We also have something, if you're talking about something related, you don't project the image of some animation and later discuss about it. You need to be discussing at the same time when you're projecting. And so that is the spatial contingency. You bring related things together so that learner can easily get the cue. Also, corresponding words and pictures need to be simultaneous. Yeah, They need to go together. On the other principles of managing and processing information, you do not give the learners a lot of junk of it. You break information into smaller pieces. You chunk it. For example, if you're teaching a lesson, you can break down the lesson where you're talking about only one component. Then you can create another presentation for another component. That is one. Then whenever you're going to introduce keywords, do not just use keywords, introduce them. For example, if you're going to be using multimedia, the first thing to do will be, what is multimedia? So introduce this terminology first so that as we continue to use it in the lesson, people understand what you mean by those terms. So there will be this key concept that you will be using in every topic. You need to keep introducing them before you use them in the lesson. Then modality. What should be asked as narration? You see the way you're listening to me right now? It should not come out like I'm reading the information one-on-one, but it should come out with a conversational, informal communication. That is what it calls narration. People prefer to listen to that as opposed to listening to what's being read directly from the script. So they prefer natural conversation. So learners learn best that way. So that is what we should be able to do. And lastly, on processing the multimedia, it is preferred that you use spoken words and images, not text. We had mentioned that a bit earlier on redundancy. People prefer to see actually what you mean. When you speak about about something that will, like if you're teaching history, if you're teaching psychology, and you're talking about ego and super ego, people would really want to see that. You should have an image depicting the ego and the super ego, and then you discuss about it now. And then they prefer human voice. At the moment, we do have artificial intelligence voices that are developed by AI. You throw in there the notes and the AI give you a narration. That's still wonderful, but people tend to be selective. They want to ensure that they are listening to a human being. They prefer human voice. And then on the other hand, learners also learn better when the spoken words are combined with images. We also saw that. And this needs to be conversational. We need stories. We need examples. So these are the principles that you will be considering while developing your multimedia. On the course, we have provided more detailed video which describes about this in details with example. So, but what are the types of multimedia that we can create for our online courses? So there are various types of multimedia that we can create for our courses, and I'll move away from this slide so that as we discuss, we are also able to see what we are discussing based on the principles that we've just learned. Good. So I'll start with classroom recording. So yes, you can use basic devices that are available to you to record a class. And in this particular case, it can be a class where you are alone as a teacher and you are recording for your online student. So you can be next to the board and you will be teaching using the board. And so you can put the camera behind the class and you can carry on with your class recording. Now, in this particular case, you can use a camera with a tripod stand. Then you can record. If you do not have access to the camera, you can use a smartphone. It can also do a brilliant job. So and the video will be stored on your phone. We will later see how we can also develop or move this video to a point where we can edit it. We also have close-up recording, and this kind of recording, the students will be able to see you off. They only see your head and hands while talking. These videos are very good, particularly for introducing concepts, but they don't like to see you continuously in a lecture. They would like to see you at the beginning when you're talking about the introductory comments. But now, after that, when you begin to talk about the content, they also want to see what you're talking about. And that means these kind of videos are very good for introductions only, but they are not good for teaching. You cannot teach a lecture where we see you. They prefer to see what you're talking about. We will see the kind of multimedia which are good for that. But for this particular one, you will need a camera or even a smartphone with a stand, and you can be able to tailor the environment. Sometimes you want to appear to be in the office. Sometimes you want to appear to be in the classroom. And if you're teaching a lab, experiment, maybe the lab environment will be good. So it will dictate on where best you can record your multimedia. In some other cases, yes, we can use whiteboard. This is very similar to the last video that we saw, the classroom recording, but this one takes a lot of information is already put on a flip chart or a whiteboard. And now you will always do this prior to your lesson. Then you can use what you've already put on the whiteboard to discuss a concept. This will be very good for business courses. We're discussing about demand and the supply curves, which will have drawn on the chart already, and you're discussing about them. In other cases, for mathematics, yes, this is really brilliant for mathematics. If you will be teaching mathematics, the student want to see you working out a sum, and that now becomes also a very good multimedia, where it can teach abstract subject like mathematics. For this one, you need a camera and a stand again, which you can use your smartphone if you don't have access to the camera. And there are some cases now where you have already exhausted to talk about the introduction and you want to teach the concept, and the concept is inside a PowerPoint, but you want to show your learners this PowerPoint. This one, we call it voice over PowerPoint. And this voice over PowerPoint, we can use an approach called screencast, where we take a photo of what is happening in your computer to be able to capture what the learners also would really want to see as you go through the content. And for us to be able to go, we will be going through this screencast later on using a software called OBS. And so for you to be able to achieve this, yes, you need a computer, that's your laptop, and the screen recording software that I've just mentioned, OBS. We'll be looking at this Open Broadcaster Studio, what it is, and how to use it during this session. So generally, there are other things that you need to consider while you talk about this multimedia. One is you may want some hardware. The hardware can include your cameras, it can include your computer, your microphone, your speakers, and this one will be basically used as input device. Input is what will take in the voice, and that will be the microphone. It has to be good quality so that you get a good output. So then the speakers, if you will be getting some voice from the computer coming out, you want something to be able to make it audible, and that is the speaker. For capture, you might use your computer, which is a laptop, to capture, or even the camera or a smartphone. So those are the basic hardware that you can use. When we come to the software, there will be some software that might be needed to capture multimedia. And we mentioned about OBS. OBS is a software that we'll be using to capture voice over PowerPoint and to capture screencasts. We'll be looking at that shortly. There are other logistics that you need to prepare when you think of doing a multimedia. And one is the stand that wherever you get somebody to hold for you, the video can be shaky depending on the person taking. But so that you avoid that, we normally use a tripod stand. And this tripod stand, they come in with the one for the camera and also this one for the phone. So if you will be using your phone, you might need to get a tripod stand for the phone. And depending on the space where you're going to record, you need also to observe where there's light. Sometimes you can use natural light. If it is not enough, you can substitute with softbox lighting. So it depends on where you're going to record. And we also mentioned that you need an input capture, and that is the microphone, so that you get clear audio for the students. They want to listen to you clearly. And so you will need also a microphone to do this. Other devices that you may need would include the laptop, the web camera, or the camera itself, or the smartphone. And the environment is actually where you're going to shoot. We talked about it and we said it needs to have enough lighting. Now, the process that you're going to take to record this video, first, you need to know what you want to record, and that is the script. Do you want to record the lesson? Which part of the lesson? Identify that. And now we have seen different types of videos. Which one is it that you want to develop? You will need to decide on the type of video. Then once you've selected the type of video, you also need to decide where you're going to prepare the video, the environment, and that will dictate about the voice, the lighting, if you're going to be capturing the teacher talking, or the sound, the echoes, and all that. If there will be any devices that you need, including the camera, if your institution has one, then you might need to borrow. Normally, in our institution, the public relation office normally have cameras, and we can borrow them from one time to another. Are you going to shoot or record a video? So the fifth stage is to proceed now to the recording. If you're going to decide to say, I'm going to shoot a video in your location, now you'll have the devices ready for shooting. And if you decide you are going to record using your laptop, maybe a voice over PowerPoint, you will need to have set up that. Then you will now proceed to record. Once you have recorded, your videos will be stored in your computer or in your devices. Then you'll be able to transfer and edit those videos so that they are published for your students in a Moodle course or on YouTube. Then you share the link with your students. So this is the process that we will follow while we'll be developing our multimedia. And you can basically categorize this process as preparation stage, which is pre-production. And you can use also ChatGPT to help you develop that script. So if you're new to scripting, you really don't need to worry. Just identify the lesson, what you want to teach, and tell ChatGPT, I would like to teach this lesson. Kindly develop for me a video script that I will use. Then it will be able to develop for you. Then on the production stage, you will need the devices that we mentioned. And in our case, we will be using OBS during our production today to produce a voice over PowerPoint for a teacher and also to produce a screencast. Once you have produced this video, you can now edit. There is a free software for editing called CapCut. We'll be exploring this also. And I think now we can move to practicals. But before we move to practicals, is there any question? The computers that we have already have a software called OBS.
Yes. Hello.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, thank you so much for the presentation. Yes, you emphasize is good, use different designs for doing the online, online teaching. For example, we have to have some videos, which is one of the methods for learners to understand. In a scenario that in history teaching, we have some of these stories, but the videos are not really there. If we are to find the videos, sometimes it may not be context-based. In that scenario, how do you advise? And also I'm seeing like, of course, the digital learning is good, but however, I'm seeing how really expensive it will be because of the resources. And like yesterday, we talked about infrastructure. Now, like even getting these, the equipments to be used, it may be a bit really like an expensive way of learning. So I don't know, like, for example, we are doing this training under East African Community, uniting the East African countries, universities, sorry, the universities. Maybe is there a way that the university collaboration can strengthen some of this? Because when we learn and we don't practice for long, we even forget, especially when it comes to things dealing with online computers and etc. Thank you so much.
Yes, so allow me to respond partly to the question, and I'll respond to the history, for example, the resources for history. There's been a recent development of using artificial intelligence to recreate history, and this only requires learning a few tips. And I think we can explore when we can explore it in context specific. So I think you will later write to me, then I can find some history lessons which they are being recreated, particularly for your context. Then from that particular point, we can have a discussion of how relevant is it to your students and how they can be further developed or suited for your learners. Regarding to the practice, we create developing scenarios where this can be practiced. I think I had mentioned yesterday that it is something that we need to share with the Inter-University Council of East Africa so that we can get the direction, whether there are some funds that can be used to support institutions to practice what they are training on. So I think I will defer that question so that it is responded accordingly to the people who are supporting the program. So I noted it's also something that emerged yesterday, and I would like to postpone it so that the right person respond to it.
Oh, okay. Now, I don't know whether there are also some questions I had on data. I don't know whether it's good to ask or maybe later.
Maybe later. So what I can suggest is
Okay.
that we can have another session where we can go back to those issues. I'll create a session in the afternoon where we can go back to those issues. So let's carry on. I know you could also be having questions. In the meantime, just feel free to drop those questions on WhatsApp platform. I'll keep responding to them. So on the computers that you have, there is a software called OBS. So you click on Start button, then type OBS. When you open it, will show application like this one of mine. Kulang, you can help me move around. Make sure they are opening OBS. Kulang, you can help me go around and make sure they are opening OBS.
Now, what are these?
Close it and open again. Close and open again. Close and open again.
What's new?
Roll it up.
What's new? OBS Studio, 23 July. Welcome to the latest release of OBS Studio. We have got lots of under the.
There's a different here. This one has what? This one is
No, this one is just fresh installed. For you and later on. But the way they will take us.
I'm here. We are now in the same page.
So what happened?
The other one, they are still introducing it to. Yes.
When we did
But
now.
this thing, if you know, life would be easier. You sit home and lecture.
Yes.
Most of the people have MBS installed.
Okay, so it seems we are all there. So allow me to describe what you're seeing. I think you've opened your screen and it looks like mine. Now, the first portion I want to discuss about is the section called scene. There will be scenes that we can add to the presentation, and because we'll be recording a session, we just want one scene, and the scenes are located right there. So that's what I just want you to get at the moment. Next to the scenes, there is sources. This sources is very important, and these sources are used to load input devices, output devices. We'll talk about them as we load them. I just want you to know the location of sources, and to add their button down here, add, remove, remove. So sources, then you add, you remove. I will discuss what sources we can add in the next session. Then we have this big space. This is for preview of what you want to record. Whatever you're going to record is going to come out and show in this space. And then to the right, there are many other commands. This OBS is used for many purposes. One of them, it is used for live streaming. Ever heard somebody saying, I will be live streaming on YouTube or on Facebook? Yes, this is the software they use, and the live streaming settings are available right here. But for our purpose, we are going to use it to record class lectures. So a very important button for us here is this one of start recording button. Studio mode is also used when you're recording. It's a software also that can be used for TV production, and whenever you're streaming, yeah, it is very important. And general settings, then exiting the software. So the one which we'll be using a lot is this start recording and the settings. Start recording and settings. So you now know where the key buttons are. The audio, this one will be active. Mine is an image, but yours will be undulating. As you talk, it will show. It will show that there is audio being captured. See your audio right there. So having seen this, I will stop now this presentation so that I also open my software.
This one is better now.
Now brown.
So more than business.
Brown than.
Yeah.
So,
Brown, you are the
so
border.
He's the one that presents.
attention.
Yes.
Yes, so you can see my screen. Is it similar to yours?
Yes.
Mine is having a camera. Is yours having a camera? Maybe not. So yours could be something like that. So what we want to do, we want to record what is happening inside our computers. To do this, we need a camera that will do that. And for us to add the camera, we come to sources, then add.
Sources.
Then yes. So here in sources, we want a camera to capture. So here we will do display capture.
Then
Capture.
Display capture is our camera.
what camera first?
Display capture.
Yes. Yes.
Display capture is the camera.
So I will click on it. Who has not seen where display capture is? All of us have seen it. So I click. So it's going to ask me, oh, do you want to give it a different name? I will give mine a different name. I will call it camera. But you can leave the default name. It will read the way you have named it. Then I will click OK. So it's going to tell me, oh, this is what it is showing. Is your screen showing like this? Then I will say yes. So you need to accept and say, this is my camera. Click OK. Click OK. So I'm going to go ahead and click OK. And I've successfully I have successfully now added the camera. Now I need to add microphone. For me to add microphone,
Mine is here. Yeah, yours is there.
Where is the okay? It is not there.
so I will add microphone. To add microphone, you click add.
Okay.
Microsoft. Add.
Microphone.
Microsoft.
Microphone.
Microphone.
Now for microphone, it is not on the list, but we have it here as audio input capture. Audio input capture. This is the second one from the top.
The second.
Audio input capture. So I'm going to click on that. Then I'm going to change the name to microphone. 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 Then I'm going to click OK. Microphone. Then I click OK. Now I have to, it's telling me, oh, do you want to use default? Yes, I want to use default. I'll just accept and say, okay, use default. So I have two things here. I have microphone and I have the camera. What do you have? Have you added microphone and the camera?
We're going to use default. Then add, you have add now here. You stop there. You are going very fast like thunder.
But I thought, why that is working and ours? You see, yours is working now. Mine is not recording.
Now I will request that you stop looking at your computer and focus on mine. Please look at mine. Look at mine. I'm going now to record because I have the microphone. Attention, please. Because I have the microphone and camera.
Peter, I would first emphasize that everybody first stops and sees what you are doing. Then
Yes.
they later do, because you are recording your session. So it's
Yes.
better they understand, then they can try to replicate later. Okay then.
Okay.
So,
Okay, just
This is my computer problem for me.
so you say audio input device capture. Select. Boom. Now it's left. Okay, now.
He wants it to move.
Yeah.
He wants it to move like this.
Moving.
No, it's your screen is small, not like ours.
But it's the
It's
same.
moving there. The rest are moving. Check around.
Okay. I think nothing be going on there as we fix yours.
Okay, you be looking here.
so what I would request is that you pay attention to my recording and then you will come and try yours. So pay attention to mine. I've already added microphone and camera. And what is next now is for me to come and click record so that I will record. What is this that I will record? If you remember in our step, we say you need to decide on what you're going to be recording. I want to record a PowerPoint. So I'll just make sure that I have that PowerPoint ready. Yes. Good. So my PowerPoint is ready. So I'll click here, start recording. And now I will minimize this window and now move straight to where my PowerPoint is. And I will continue now to record the PowerPoint as I talk. My PowerPoint will keep changing the slides as I talk. Once I've completed talking over the PowerPoint, then I can come back to OBS.
Where is my PowerPoint?
It's
And then-
your, you know where you kept yours.
And then I can stop recording. And once you stop recording, you want to see where the recording is located. Kulang, Kulang.
Yes, sir.
Yes, I want you
Yes.
to stop what you're doing so that you are not interrupting them, so that they are focusing on seeing what, then they will practice, irrespective of where they are. Everyone, not only everyone. Just pay attention and then you will practice. Good. So where has the recording gone? After you have pressed record, you stop recording. Where does it go? So you come here on settings. So on settings, you need to check on output, and on output, there will be a link, recording path. Here on the link, you will see it is recording on my videos. So I will close this and then I will open the my videos window. And then in my videos, I'll be able to check and find the video that I've just recorded. So I'll stop recording so that I show you what I've recorded. So stop recording here. Good. So I'm going to show you on my computer. Then I'll go to my videos. Then on videos, I will check the one for today. And the one for today is this one, 15th. Then I'll click. Yeah, that's it. And now I will minimize this window and now move straight to where my PowerPoint is. And I will continue now to record the PowerPoint as I talk. My PowerPoint will keep changing. So let's as I talk. Once I've completed talking over the PowerPoint, so you can see that that was a video I recorded, and it is now showing something that was going on the screen. In this particular case, it is a PowerPoint. What if it is not a PowerPoint? I want you to show me the teacher. Now, I don't want something which is inside the computer, but I want to use my laptop to capture me while I give a lecture. So again, if we go back to the OBS, we already have a camera which was inside the computer, but now we want to add another camera, a camera that will capture using the camera in front of the laptop. So you need to add video capture device. Video capture device. And I'll leave the name to be video capture device, and it will show, is it the face that you are seeing right now? Then I'll say, yes, this is my camera. Then you will be able to show the amount of that, the amount of space it will cover in your presentation. So you can make it bigger, or you can make it smaller and move it even to a corner so that your students will be seeing the PowerPoint and then they will also be looking at you, or you want them to just look at you. So you will decide on what is best for you. And once it is ready, again, you click start recording. And you are going to give now your lecture.
How do you go back? How do you go back from here?
So you will click start recording, then you will give the entire lecture. Once you complete the lecture, you click again this stop recording, and you knew that it was recording in some section in our computer. Yes, it was recording in my videos. So if you come back to my videos, this next video here has been recorded. Let's play it. and you are going to give now your lecture. So up to that point, it is now your turn to practice. I know you will face some challenges. You missed a point or two, but we will come back to that. So I will leave you now to practice first. I want you to look at the application first. I know
Yes.
you. Yes. Yes. Ask question.
Just excuse
Yes.
me. I got lost in where, like, from the display of general updates outputs to go back and record myself, like the picture. How did you go back? I got lost.
Okay, I'll demonstrate that again. You go to OBS.
Yeah.
And in OBS, you add video capture device. Video capture device. You click start. You click on add. Then you come back and click video capture device. Once you get this, it will be able to record you. Is that clear? Have you added that? Yes. So for everyone, I'm going to leave you to practice, and then you will come back with the challenges. And I think at this point, I'll give it back to the timekeeper. Our timekeeper, you can guide us, then we can come back for the next presentation. Kulang?
Yes, we can go for tea, then you come and do your practice.
So
Yes,
Kulang,
go on.
All right.
Okay, we are going to mute.
okay, Kulang.
We are breaking up for tea, then they'll come back.
Okay.
You can hear me. Peter. It's nothing. Wait for that. That's what the best part is.